Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, we're going to talk about how much muscle mass you can build during a 4-month bulk. Before I get into this topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you need coaching, check out the link below. I would love to help. All right, this is a pretty controversial topic, but we're going to dive into things. I want you guys to understand that the information I'm about to present isn't a hard carved in stone rule. They're general guidelines based on my many years of studying natural muscle building. I don't want to cause any fights. I don't want to cause any massive flame wars. Just be open to the reality that these are general guidelines and reasonable guidelines. All right, so in the massive iron world, we do basically 10-pound bulks. This is a good starting point. We aim for a 10-pound bulk over a 4 to 5 month period of time. If you're a more experienced lifter and you know you can nail a 15-pound cut or a 20-pound cut and you want to do a more extended bulk, more power to you. But this is a really good and safe place to start. We do a 10-pound bulk over a 4 to 5 month period of time, do a quick cut, and then repeat the cycle. If you have any questions about this, there are free videos here on my channel, or you can go to my website, superlivingtoday.com, and search bulk. Now, in an optimal world, if you just hit the gym as a novice and everything was absolutely perfect, you were crushing your workouts, you knew how to train hard, you were crushing your bulks, you were crushing sleep, all the stars aligned and everything was absolutely perfect, you would have the potential to gain about 16 pounds of mass your first serious year of training. Again, we're not trying to create a rule, but this is a pretty reasonable guideline for a novice when everything is absolutely optimal. Now, for women, we don't have as much information, but I would say multiply this by about 30 to 40%. Now, in the real world, optimal really isn't a thing. There aren't many novices that just hit the gym running, everything aligned, they know how to train hard. There's obviously a feeling out period where novices are trying to figure out their nutrition, they're trying to figure out their training, they're trying to figure out all the variables. So in the real world, your first year of lifting, you would be lucky to gain about 10 pounds of mass. For women, this would be about 3 to 4 pounds. This is a very reasonable goal for your first year of lifting. And the reason why I'm presenting this information is to kind of frame the expectations I'm about to present when it comes to a bulk for a beginner, an early intermediate, an intermediate, and a more advanced lifter. Now, we talked about gaining 10 to upwards of 16 pounds of mass your first year as a novice or a beginner. Every year after, you have about the potential to gain about half of your remaining natural potential. So if you have 15 more pounds of mass you could possibly build as a natural, you have the potential to gain about half of that the coming year. Now, we don't want to get too caught up on this, but the big point and the big picture here is that the later into your training you get, the more mass you have, the slower the progress is going to come. This is just reasonable. You can't expect to gain 10 to 16 pounds of mass as an intermediate lifter. If this was possible, we'd all walk around, anybody that had training figured out and nutrition figured out would all walk around looking like Ronnie Coleman or Dorian Yates. So obviously, the more mass you have, the less you will generally build the coming year. All right, let's get into things. What does this mean for bulking? Let's look at a typical scenario of gaining about 10 pounds during a bulk over a 4 to 5 month period of time. How much muscle mass can you expect to build during this period of time? Now, for a beginning lifter, and again, this is just, we're not trying to create rules, we're trying to create reasonable guidelines. For a beginning lifter, gaining about 4 to 5 pounds during a 4 to 5 month bulk would be epic. That would be absolutely wonderful. You're crushing things. 3 to 4 would be awesome. That's still pretty good. That's a really good pace, a quality pace, especially for someone that doesn't live in an optimal world. 2 to 3 pounds as a novice would be a little bit slow, but still the minimum you should expect. It's a decent amount of mass for a 4 to 5 month bulk. And if you would sustain that over a long period of time, you would still build decent mass, but it's just a little bit slow. There's a little bit room for improvement. And if you're less than 2 pounds during a 4 to 5 month bulk, this is very weak. We need to fix something. We need to fix your nutritional consistency. We need to fix your hard training. We need to fix something. All right, so an early intermediate lifter or a late beginner, someone that's kind of past the novice stage and has established a history of building some muscle mass, 3 to 4 pounds during a 4 to 5 month bulk would be epic. That would be absolutely wonderful, just crushing things. 2 to 3 would be awesome. This would still be a really, really good pace for an early intermediate lifter. 1 to 2 would be a little bit slow, but the minimum you should expect. And less than 1 pound, weak. It's time to fix something. It's time to look at your nutrition. It's time to look at your hard training. It's time to get something fixed. All right, now for the intermediate lifter, someone that's gained about half of their natural muscle mass potential, they're doing pretty good. They're looking good. They're looking fit. They're looking muscular, but they still have some way to go, right? 2 to 3 pounds during a 4 to 5 month bulk would be epic. This is really good. And if you could sustain this, you would really get up to speed. You would start to approach your natural potential quite rapidly. Now, 1 to 2 pounds would be decent. 1 pound would be kind of slow, but the minimum you should expect. And less than a pound during a 4 to 5 month bulk means it's weak. You need to get something fixed. You need to get your act together. You need to train harder. You need to eat smarter, etc. Now, finally, an advanced lifter. An advanced lifter is probably going to be about 85 to 90% where they want to be. Just 85 to 90% of where they want to be strength-wise naturally, where they want to be mass-wise naturally. We're talking about the elite, the upper tier, the guys that just have the massive natural mass and the huge strength numbers. Guys and girls that are about 85 to 90% of the way there. During a 4 to 5 month bulking period, 1 pound would be really good. These lifters are almost there, and gaining 1 pound every 4 to 5 months on a bulk, that would be a really good steady rate to ride out the next couple of years, right? A half pound would be really decent, and nothing. You probably need to fix something now. Once you get to the super epic level, the super elite level, where you're at about 95% of your natural potential, where you go online and everyone's accusing you of using steroids and you just look like an absolute freak, there isn't much left to gain. You're talking ounces and ounces, and there's no rules for these types of lifters. You just have to go in, be consistent, not beat up your body, and hope you put on a couple ounces of mass. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.